Now, should Bitcoin be regulated? The trouble is, what do you regulate? If you regulate banks, you regulated a very limited set of trusted parties. But with Bitcoin, or with a peer-to-peer based system, you would have to regulate everyone in a certain sense. So you can regulate the providers, but there will be many of them. All of this goes to say that I think it's hard to regulate Bitcoin, and I understand that regulators want to, but I think it might be quite early in the process. We don't really know if Bitcoin or something else will survive this first wave. So I think for the banking industry, the more prudent choice here is not to be fearful of what this represents, but to look at it as an opportunity for innovation, as an opportunity to explore new business models. Because if you really think about it, banking has remained virtually unchanged for millennia. But on the other hand, if you embrace these new opportunities of technology, you would create new markets also for bankers and for intermediaries. So even though Bitcoin takes a stab at the intermediary, it might not completely remove them.
Okay, back to me talking smack about the banks and how cryptocurrency is so great and the banks suck. Okay, banking system uses significantly more energy than Bitcoin, research shows. Okay, so if you haven't heard, one of the main fear tactics that the central banking systems like to push onto the public is that mining for Bitcoin is just terrible for the environment. Like, it uses all this energy, and it's destroying the environment. But if you take some time to do some research, you quickly find out that, again, like I keep saying, I'm going to use this term, that's bullshit. So the banks are full of shit. So check it out. This is what this said. This is from Bitcoin.com. Banking system consumes much more energy than Bitcoin. Galaxy Digital published a report last week entitled "On Bitcoin's Energy Consumption: A Quantitative Approach to Subjective Question." The author described this report took a quantitative approach comparing Bitcoin's energy usage to that of other industries. So, check it out. This is a little chart, terawatts an hour / year. This is from Galaxy Digital, the source. Banking system up at the top. ATMs, bank branches, top 100 bank data centers. Boom. Look, then you got gold. They're using a little less, but they're definitely still using more than Bitcoin. Then you got Bitcoin. Look at this. Bitcoin's not even consuming quite half of the energy that the banking industry is consuming. And it's consuming about half, maybe a little more or a little less of what gold is consuming. So this is what it says. According to the report, the Bitcoin network consumes an estimated 113.89 terawatts a year in total. The estimate comprises miner demand, miner electricity consumption, pool electricity consumption, and node electricity consumption. So here's some more numbers. Take a little look-ski right there. And while the report estimates that the gold industry utilizes roughly 240.61 terawatts a year, it says that the banking system consumes the most energy. The authors noted that the 4 key areas of electricity consumption associated with the broader banking system with enough data to establish acceptable estimates are banking data centers, bank branches, ATMs, and card network data centers, they wrote. We estimate the banking system uses 263.72 terawatts of energy each year. So, in conclusion, the report highlights Bitcoin's features that can offer financial freedom to people worldwide. Moreover, the network can benefit the energy sector by creating perfect use cases for intermittent and excess energy, and the network will only scale further if network adoption warrants it. So, yeah, like, the network can benefit the energy sector. This is so true. So, like, in Texas, some of the fields were like they're mining for oil or natural gas or whatever. They've actually set up Bitcoin mining operations, and what they're doing is they're using that excess gas that goes to waste that doesn't get used, they're using that for power to mine the Bitcoin operation. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty freaking cool. Anyways, moving on. I thought that was a really cool article. Again, you guys, I'm trying. The whole point of this episode is just to point out all the amazing stuff that is going on. Now, getting back to smashing on the banks even more. Well, I guess that's what I've been doing the whole episode. List of failed banks from 2009 to 2022. So check this out. So, bank failures. Bank failures since 2009. Year, total number of bank failures, 511 banks have gone under since 2009. And what happened in 2008? The housing crisis, the crash. So it makes sense because the banks, all these banks, they bought up all this property and all these houses sat on them, and just all this crazy stuff went down. And for those that were around, they remember that. And so I just wanted to point that out. Since 2009, a total of 511 banks have failed. 2009, you saw 140, 2010, 157, 2011, 92, 2012, 51, 2013, 24, 2018, 18, 2015, 8. So it starts like dying down. But remember, at the same time, like this is like, it had a while for like all those crazy bailouts because 2009, I think it was, Obama came in and bailed out all the banks and shit. And like all that funny money had time to settle into the system and create this illusion like things were mellowing out. But we see what's happening now. Like it's getting crazy. So expect a lot more bank failures, you guys. And if we stick to the mission, expect us to be victorious in the end and finally take down the central banking system, not just for the third time in America, but once and for all. Why? Because we can document all this stuff on the internet. We have the technology through decentralized finance, blockchain, cryptocurrency to no longer need traditional banks. So anyways, let's keep it moving. Okay. Following El Salvador, the Central African Republic declares BTC. So yeah, I'm not going to even read this. I just want to remind y'all, again, Bitcoin, crypto, it is getting adopted worldwide. And this is why the banks keep talking smack about crypto, talking smack about Bitcoin, okay? Let's keep it moving. Now, all this smack I'm talking about banks, I will say this. I do think there will be certain banks that will survive because they will inevitably be smart enough to adapt. And they'll find new ways to make plenty of money still. They just won't have the same power, prestige, and dominance they once had. So check this out. Bank of America waiting for SEC lawsuit to end, so they partner with Ripple and leverage ODL. So this is from a week ago. This is off Ripple Coin News. Now, you guys, this is what it says. One of the world's largest financial institutions, Bank of America, is said to be waiting on the sidelines to partner with Ripple. The news that has been surfacing the internet for years, which is true. A lot of people that have been involved in the crypto community for at least a couple of years have probably heard of this, especially if they're in XRP. This is what Julia, she's Harris, she is BOA's head of global banking. She confirmed the news back in the day. She said that enabling consumers to do anything, anywhere, at any time is their primary objective. She had further stated that it is not about the institution, that what kind of services it provides, rather it is about the clients and BOA's, which is Bank of America's, ability to integrate technology irrespective of the fact whether technology is developed in-house or integrated via partnership. And a most recent development in this regard, Director of Member Sales at Liquinto, Nick Barafato, reported some significant news. Nick claimed that in the talk he had with Ripple's CEO one-on-one with Garlinghouse, looked very confident, rather bullish, he stated. I met him first in Singapore in 2009, and he's even more confident today than he was back then. He made it clear that they are ready to settle with the SEC as long as they can get clarity on XRP. More significantly, Nick stated that in response to his questions that whether there are institutions waiting for the ongoing lawsuit to end so that they could partner with Ripple, Garlinghouse responded with convictions that there are entities waiting. Carlene House specifically named Bank of America as one of Ripple's major partners, as he stated that the institution is going to gain a lot from the partnership once a lawsuit is concluded, as they would get to leverage XRP and ODL, which is XRP's on-demand liquidity. So yeah, as a lot of you probably know, Ripple, they've got the XRP, their XRP crypto, and Ripple, they've been getting sued by the SEC for like 2.5 years or something like that. So it's been an ongoing battle. I'm a big believer in XRP. It's one of my biggest bags. I haven't bought any recently just because it had a nice little surge. I don't buy during surges. It's just a rule of mine, not financial advice. I will dollar cost average in at times, DCA, but I only do that more when I see like the market going sideways for like a really long time. For the most part, when I invest, I tend to just wait until something drops at least 10%, and then I'll usually swoop up a little bit of it, at least a little bit of it, if it at least drops 10%. But even more so, I try to wait for those really big dips, just have my money on the side, and then go in and swoop. So to tell you the truth, like, I know the market's been like, obviously really ugly and bloody the last long time now, last year or whatever, but I like it. Like, I don't mind it because I didn't have my bags where I wanted them to be. I've only been in crypto for like 3 years now, maybe 3.5. I don't know. It's been a minute now, but it's only been like the last 6 months to a year. Well, I'd say last 6 months, which has actually kind of been really perfect timing. I've been blessed to have that kind of timing. So like I've gotten to start really investing the type of money I want to invest into crypto and some other avenues. But anyways, yeah, like I said, I'm an investor in XRP. It's one of my biggest bags. I think it's going to easily be one of the biggest cryptos. It already is a top 10 crypto anyways. It's been a top 10 crypto for a long time. If you take your time to do research into it, you guys, you'll see that they have partnerships all around the world. And XRP, Ripple, they're doing big things. Not financial advice, but I definitely recommend you take a look at them. So, and I do think also, getting back to talking smack about the traditional financial system, I believe the reason the SEC is going so hard at Ripple and XRP and their XRP token is because, again, Ripple, their on-demand liquidity, XRP token, it is an absolute threat to the status quo in the way of doing finances. So it's it's open source, their blockchain is, and their ledger, the ledger is. So anyone can use it. You don't have to have permission to use it. So a bank can use it. You can use it for your business. So like, the banks, they absolutely hate it. Like, they hate crypto. So, but Bank of America, they seem like they might be one of the smart ones. They see the writing on the wall, and they might adapt and survive. So let's hope so. That'll be smart for them. All right. Anyways, let's keep it moving, you guys. Now we're gonna get into a little FTX news, a little connect the dots on some of the FTX craziness, just to show some more examples how there is definitely a battle going on between crypto and the traditional way of doing things. So, and I totally believe that Sam Bankman-Friedman is part of the establishment. He's part of the old ways of doing things, and I think he was purposely sent in and set up to try to help make crypto look awful and help push the public away from it. So, anyways, check this out. This article might piss you off a little bit. Sam Bankman-Fried, former CEO and founder of collapsed crypto exchange FTX, is down to $100,000 from the approximately $17 billion he was worth earlier this year. In a recent interview with Axios, Bankman-Fried claimed that he currently has around $100,000 in his bank accounts, down by 99% from his net worth of around $17 billion based on calculations by Bloomberg. When asked about his personal finances, he said, "I am allowed to say a negative number. I mean, I have no idea. I don't know. I had $100,000 in my bank account last I checked. It's complicated. Basically, everything I had was just tied up in the company." According to SBS Forbes profile, most of his wealth was tied up in the ownership of about half of FTX's and the share of its FTT tokens. His wealth peaked at an estimated $26.5 billion following the collapse of FTX. Bloomberg called SBF's losses of fortune one of history's greatest ever destructions of wealth. Bankman-Fried owns about 70% of FTX's U.S. business, which was included in the bankruptcy filings. His stake in online brokerage Robinhood, previously valued at more than $500 million, was removed from Bloomberg's calculation after news reports said that the stake was held through Alameda and may have been used as collateral for loans. SBF says regulation could have helped prevent FTX fall. Meanwhile, SBF claimed that proper regulation could have helped prevent the collapse of FTX, saying that he wished there had been someone who wasn't me who was in charge of managing conflicts of interest. I think one thing is, if you looked at, and this is what Sam Bankman is saying, if you looked at the reporting and CFTC applications, that would have been extremely helpful here on the international rigor, Bankman-Fried said. In fact, SBF has been under extreme criticism for his management on FTX and user funds. James Bromley, a partner at Sullivan and Cromwell, who was representing FTX, said during the Delaware bankruptcy court last week that the exchange was run as a personal fiefdom of Sam Bankman-Fried. As reported, FTX lent as much as $10 billion worth of customer assets. $10 billion of your assets. We the people's assets. Now, I got lucky because I wasn't on FTX, but I did get screwed on Voyager, so trust me, I'm feeling your pain, folks. We're the customer's assets to fund risky bets by its affiliated trading firm. Alameda Research, since FTX had $16 billion in customer assets, the exchange had lent more than half of its customer funds. I wish I'd been more careful. This is what Sam Bankman-Fried said. I obviously deeply regret this. I've been focusing on volume rather than positions for balances. SBF said, Sam Bankman-Fried, I should have been more responsible and I should have been more on top of what was going on. But you know what else should be going on, Sam? Is your ass should be in jail right now. You should be in handcuffs because you screwed people out of billions of dollars. So, guys, again, this dude is connected up and down to dark money, and I'm about to get into that right now. So this says FTX billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried all funneled dark money to the Republicans, which everyone knows that the news has been getting spread about all this money he funneled to the Democrats, which obviously I have no doubt. But I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I can't stand the Democrats, but I really can't stand the Republicans much more either. There's like a few Republicans I like in there, but for the most part, most of these politicians have been in there our whole entire lives, guys. From the Nancy Pelosi's on the left to the Mitch McConnell's on the right. You know, it's all these freaking swamp creatures. They all suck. So, am I surprised that Sam Bankman is claiming that he also funneled dark money to the Republicans? No, that's why I'm about to play this video. So, but this dude, nevertheless, why do you think he's not in jail yet? Why do you think he hasn't been arrested? Because dude, FTX, I'm telling you guys, it was a money laundering operation for the status quo, for the powers that be, for the Democrats, for the Republicans, for the whole entire swamp, for the banking system, for the bullshit going on in Ukraine. They would send the money over there, funnel it back. Like, it's crazy. So check this out. I'm going to play this quick video. I want you all to take a listen, okay? Let me make sure the volume's up. Here we go.
I donated to both parties. I donated about the same amount to both parties this year. That was not generally known because despite Citizens United being literally the highest profile Supreme Court case of the decade and the thing everyone talks about when they talk about campaign finance, for some reason, in practice, no one can possibly fathom the idea that someone in practice actually gave dark. So, I don't know, all my Republican donations were dark. People won't see them. And the reason was not for regulatory reasons. It's because reporters freak the fuck out if you donate to a Republican. They're all super liberal and didn't want to have that fight. So I just made all the Republican ones dark. But I was, second or third biggest Republican donor this year as well. But also it's all for the primaries. They didn't give anything in general elections. They don't give a shit about general elections. It's not what matters. Like, it's the primaries where you have good candidates against bad candidates.
Oh, there he goes, you guys. Openly just admit it right there. that he is funneling, that he don't like. Okay, before I say that, him talking about donating money to the Republicans. Again, I want to reiterate this, you guys. Democrat, Republican, most of these, like 99% of them that are in, especially in DC, they have been there, almost all of them have been there our whole entire lives, or most of our lives. At least half of us. Like, I mean, dude, Biden has been in office since the 70s. Pelosi's been in office since at least the 80s. I mean, it goes on and on. Mitch McConnell's been in there probably as long as freaking Biden, you know? And it's just, you. So I'm not surprised, like, and with that said, like, Sam Bankman, so let me say this. I want to reiterate this as well. Bankman, is he a liar? Does he deserve to be in jail? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And we need to put the pressure on these people so he is put on trial. So, you know, our criminal justice system can do its proper thing and actually function like it's supposed to. But I don't think he's lying about this, about donating to the Republicans either, and just doing it through dark money, like, you know, through a quiet way, versus, you know, letting it be out there more so about the Democrats. Because again, like he just said, most of the media is super far left liberal. I mean, he didn't say far left, but I'm saying it. They're far left liberal, and so they freak out. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like one of these like swamp Mitch McConnell Republicans, which is no better than the Joe Bidens and the Nancy Pelosi's. It doesn't matter. They freak the fuck out, okay? They absolutely freak out. So I believe Bankman on this. But Mr. Bankman, if you see this video, which you probably won't, your ass needs to be arrested and you deserve to be in jail. And we the people, we are going to keep the pressure on our government to make sure that you are arrested and freaking put on trial and dealt with properly. So it's only fair, because the rest of us, the everyday people that don't have all these connections, we would be in jail for a long time for doing not even near compared to what you've done. You have robbed people. Well, you and your cohorts, you and your handlers have robbed people out of billions of dollars. So yeah, we're going to keep the pressure on you. We're going to keep the pressure on the government, and all you government officials, all you bankers, your days are numbered. We the people, we're taking the power back. We're taking our government back. We are reestablishing our freedom and our right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness. All right? God bless America. All right? God bless the world. All right. Let's keep it moving. Hey, if you guys like what I'm doing, before you go to the next one, make sure you smash that like button, hit that notification bell, follow me here on YouTube, follow me here on Rumble, follow me on Getter, follow me on True Social, follow me on Twitter, okay? All right, guys, I love y'all. I love y'all. Check this out. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Cardano and Charles Hoskinson, and I'm bringing this in because this ties into FTX and just how bad centralization is, the traditional central banking system. And Charles Hoskinson always does a phenomenal job of basically, I don't even know, I'm trying to think of the right words, but basically getting his message across of why the traditional way of doing things through our financial system, our government, just does not work. Centralization does not work for the mass, okay? And I'm 100% with him on that, because inevitably 99.9% of us, if we're given too much power, we will become corrupt. And so the responsible thing for us to do as humans is to put certain things in place that just stop us from being able to gain too much centralized power and control. Because, yeah, it always inevitably leads to tyranny. So check this out. This is what Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, founder of Cardano, this is what he had to say about FTX's collapse. He says, the recent collapse of crypto exchange FTX highlights the absolute need for decentralization, according to Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson. Speaking at the Financial Times Crypto and Digital Asset Summit, Hoskinson said that the crypto industry has never been stronger in terms of its offerings to the TradFi traditional finance marketplace and to the world as a whole, but that recent collapses such as FTX have demonstrated that the need for decentralization and proof of reserves, the failures we're having aren't failures of protocols, aren't failures of DeFi, Hoskinson said. They're failures of trust, they're failures of regulations, they're failures of people. He added that these failures of trust in both the crypto industry and the traditional finance industry are driving a shift from companies and people to protocols. People like centralization. So this is what Hoskinson continues to say. This is what he's saying right here. People like centralization because it gives you consistency, it gives you efficiency and optimization. But then they always suffer the consequences of it at some point because people make mistakes or people get corrupted. We saw that with FTX and we saw that with Luna. Hoskinson argued that his own creation, Cardano, has outgrown its founder, which is him, adding that while I got the party started, good parties live on beyond their host. He pointed to statistics that he claimed showed how decentralized the protocol is. There's over 3 million people, 1,200 projects that are building, and over 100 have launched. 6 billion assets have been issued, 6 billion. The vast majority of that activity has nothing to do with me. Hoskinson also posed the question, how do we really measure things like resilience and decentralization? He said that as part of its partnership with the University of Edinburgh, IOHK, sorry guys, I need to turn my phone off. Give me 1 second. It's starting to annoy me because I should have put it on silence. I turned it all the way down, but I didn't put it on Do Not Disturb. There we go. Okay. He said as part of its partnership with the University of Edinburgh, IOHK, the developer group that maintains Cardano, has started a lab that will create an index to track those metrics. They include how reliant a protocol is on core entities, the distribution of its currency and its treasury, and the level of decentralization of consensus. These are all objective metrics, he explained. You can look at things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano and ask a very precise question, which is how decentralized really is it? Hoskinson said, at which one of the Jenga blocks can you remove before the tower falls over? So, yeah, I like what he said there at the end because it really sums up like the issue of centralization because, you know, it just takes that one little piece to bring it all down. And it's just really, you guys, I've been saying this whole episode. If we really want to gain financial freedom, we want to gain freedom as a whole, we have to once and for all break the chains of the traditional central banking financial system. Because I want you to do your research into central banks. You will see that historically they have funded all the major wars, both sides of the conflicts. They money launder for drug cartels. I mean, they do whatever they got to do to get money. And they're also always screwing the everyday person on the side, So why? Because again, like I said a few minutes ago, and like Hoskinson is saying in this article right here, he's clearly stating, look, 99.9% of us, we don't need to have that level of control like the central banks have. It's going to naturally corrupt and breed greed, breed corruption, and breed atrocities, breed evilness, like just all sorts of bad stuff. Like I'm just going to say, it's going to breed demonic bullshit. Like, it really is. And I'm not saying like money is the root of all evil, because I don't like that saying. I think money, when utilized in the correct way, is a very good and useful tool. Like, it teaches people how to lift themselves up and do other things. But again, if you have control over it, though, it definitely can be used for evil. But anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. Yeah, it is. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. If you like what I'm doing, again, make sure you smash that like button, smash that notification bell, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Rumble, follow me on True Social, follow me on Getter, follow me on Twitter. Twitter's getting fun again, so it's been great with Elon Musk taking over, so I'm starting to post more on there and all that stuff. But yeah, follow me all over the place. And until that next episode, remember, God loves y'all, and stay blessed. And I'm not a financial advisor. All right, I'm out. Merry Christmas. Peace.